welcome to this course. My name is Jeffrey Bella from Cycle 35. I have with me also Kevin Williams from Cycle 35. Say hello, Kevin.
How's it going, everyone?
So you can follow this project along on our GitHub. We have a README with all the information on it for the course information, the tools that we're going to use, and the schedule. So we'll briefly go over it. I'm Jeffrey Bella from Cycle 35. I am a senior automation engineer currently with United Airlines. I do a lot of Python, PowerShell, um, some Bash scripting, a little bit of JavaScript, and recently I do a ton of SQL now. Um, you can see my LinkedIn or my GitHub on the repo. Kevin, you want to give a brief introduction yourself, where you're at?
Absolutely. Also a Cycle 35 alumni. Currently a application developer for Accenture. Um, my current focus is front-end development. My first role was with Angular.js, which is a JavaScript framework,
Mic
actually
off.
using TypeScript instead of
Mic
JavaScript.
on.
Um, Complete difference. But now using um, Java development for Android development, using Java for mobile development. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, so looking forward to going to the schedule and getting started.
Yeah, so this course, it'll focus on teaching you computer science. So we're learning Python. This is not necessarily, come here and learn Python. Although you're going to learn a fair amount of Python. It's understanding the concepts that run computer programming. So in computer science and development in general, we normally you'll hear terms like front-end developer, middleware developer, back-end developer, full stack developer. These disciplines vary greatly. Some people are developers, some people are programmers, some people are programmers and developers, some people are scripters, programs, and developers. It just really depends on what your work calls for. Here, we'll be learning the essence of computer science, which is this is basic programming. This is what we can do with basic programming, and these are the algorithms, the very common algorithms you'll see in computer science. What you'll eventually learn is that computer science is made up of the fundamental skills, just like playing a basketball game or a baseball game, right? You have to know the rules to the game. You have to know the positions to the game. You have to be able to play each one of those positions. But ultimately, you have to know how to create a successful team in those sports. It's the same thing in programming. You have to learn how to create successful algorithms that will go do uh, predictable computing for you in order to process and create usable services and applications. So as we quickly look through the schedule, you'll see this week we'll go over introduction to programming. We'll build on development skills. We'll move into flow data and iteration. Those will be the essence of learning development. Those will be the fundamental skills where we'll teach you the rules, and we'll teach you the positions, right? And then we'll start building upon that. We'll start getting into more object-oriented stuff after we build a tourism recommendation engine. We'll move into objects. Um, from objects, we'll move into linear data structures, complex data structures in general. We'll learn asymptotic notation and asymptotic. Oh, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
Uh,
fancy.
I know. We're gonna learn recursion in Python, and then we're gonna do sorting algorithms. If you don't know what sorting algorithms, they are the backbone of how most things get done. We'll work with search and then, of course, graph algorithms. We'll go over these tools. These are the tools and the links. Again, uh, you can go onto GitHub. Here, I'm going to highlight this. This is our repository, so pause the video and go to this link. Um, and you can see all this information. We're going to use Code Academy. Code Academy has a path that we can use and follow along called Computer Science. I've called and contacted Code Academy, and they are willing to support us in any way that they can. So we'll be following the computer science path. Um, I also use as my IDE Visual Studio Code. You don't have to use it. I just find it easy because it has plugins for everything I need. Um, we're going to be using GitHub to store our code online for other people to look at. We'll be using Git in order to package up that code and send it to GitHub. Um, we'll be using
Charge complete.
Python 2 and 3. Um, we'll mostly be working with Python 3 here, but th there is some Python 2. You have to be aware that there are differences between Python 2 and Python 3. We have a Discord server. If you follow this link, you'll automatically be enrolled into the Discord server where you can chat. And when we stream, we have live sessions. You can jump in the Discord and talk while we're coding. And then finally, I have a Twitch account, which I'll stream once a week, usually on Saturdays, and it will cover uh, our introduction to programming this week. But every week, every Saturday, we'll be going over this entire coursework will be done in a live stream as well as recorded for you in case you miss one of them. Okay, so this is the introduction video before we move on to the week 1 first lesson introduction to programming. Um, I'll give you some tips. Kevin will give you some tips. Kevin, do you want to give the viewers some tips, some tricks, any challenges that you faced, or any advice that you can give them before beginning and starting a program like this?
Oh yeah. So during any course online, and keeping up with or staying on track with the agenda, it's imperative to have notes, take a bunch of notes. I even use sticky notes to, stick them on my computer or my desktop to just remind myself of key things that I've missed during my lessons. So, and also reviewing the notes afterwards, um, even, an hour a day, just reviewing what you learned to just keep the mind refreshed. Just like a computer, you just have to keep feeding information. So, yeah, so that's a big key tip that I have right now. I'm sure I can think of more as we go along.
All right, great, thanks. The one piece of advice I'll give you guys is communicate. I'm available literally 24/7 for IC Stars residents, alumni, and friends and family. Anybody who's taken this course. Um, if you're confused with anything, if anything didn't make sense, just communicate and give feedback, and that helps not only this get better, but it helps other people who may have had the same question. Um, one of the tips I'll give is it's very easy to lose focus. It's very easy to follow along for the first 3 weeks and then get lost. But remember, the videos you can come back to, the streams will be live. We'll be covering the videos that have already been built. We'll just be doing them live. Um, I'm always around, so if you feel like you're falling off the wagon a little bit or you don't understand why you're learning this, just come talk to me or Kevin Williams. Again, our information's up here, and we'll sort of guide you. We'll teach you that what you're doing is you're building a foundation. You may not end up working in Python, but I guarantee learning this bit of computer science you can bring into any language or framework as long as you're doing programmatic things or functional things, and that includes scripting. So even if you're a systems administrator, an IT repair guy, and you want to know how to build PowerShell scripts or Bash scripts for Linux stuff, these algorithms that you'll learn here will allow you to have a more robust programming knowledge. So that way, when you're either creating troubleshooting scripts or you're creating scripts that go and execute and automate things, you'll have a good understanding of what to do and what not to do. Okay, with that, that'll end our first part. I'll probably edit out this piece right here. Alrighty, I'm gonna stop.